All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. You know, it's obvious that we can all clearly see that something is gravely wrong and something is going on. We can feel it in the air. We see not only the civil unrest that's starting to rise up, especially over here in Virginia, where people actually coming to protest against a governor who actually fancies himself and thinks that the people are loyal to him, and he thinks that he's the end all and be all of the law rather than the Constitution. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand, all of us. I really truly do. I understand. I comprehend very well about things that we say, especially concerning the Constitution of the United States of America. We would love to believe that it's operating the way that we think, the way that we see, the way that we perceive. It's kind of like going in the courtroom strategies and procedures. You know, if you don't too much know their lingo, their language, legalese, the way that they're doing things, you're going to go in there and you're going to get raped. They're going to extort you. They're going to take you for everything you got in order for, and they know that the only thing you want is just leave me alone, peace here, I'll pay whatever you say. And that's pretty much American justice in a nutshell, if you want to call it that. But I want to put emphasis on this particular saying right here without going into a lot of detail and trying to digress in other areas. Listen to me very closely. A nation, and I like using that word nation as opposed to an empire. Let's just go ahead with nation. A nation that is overthrown and has been overthrown by its enemies. And believe it or not, the scriptures, it speaks very clear concerning who enemies are. It's just that people, they don't read it that way. They don't see it that way. I mean, for instance, Isaiah says clearly, prepare for slaughter the children of iniquity. Now, who's going to admit that they are the children of iniquity? Everybody assumes that when they pick that Bible up in every culture in this world that it's talking about them. But I promise you that there's a children of iniquity, okay? And prepare for slaughter. What? Not the parents, not the descendants, not the great-grandfathers, all I guess, the children of the ones who did the slaughtering. And that's going all the way down generations, all right? And of course, the children of iniquity will say, what have we done? We ain't did nothing. I ain't done nothing to nobody, but your time is coming. So I said that to say this. A nation that has been destroyed by its enemies can and will always rise up again. I'm serious. It's just a natural law. They will always rise up again. Listen to me. I'm trying to get through our head. A nation that has been destroyed by its enemies will always rise up again. They can always rise up again. They can always build. However, there is a saying that is taught to us over and over and over again concerning the scriptures, the word. And it never goes away. As a matter of fact, it very little emphasis is actually even placed on this. And I'm going to go ahead and place the emphasis. It says that nothing from without can destroy us. That means nothing from without our nation can destroy us. Look what it says. But only that which is within. Instead of worrying about the externals of people trying to attack or you know, whatever they're doing, whatever, you know, that shouldn't be the main concern. Our main concern is always looking for the enemy that is within. Because see, once you are destroyed from within, that's like total annihilation. That's like the point of no recovery and no return, because the assault and the brutality of it is just, I mean, you know, I don't want to talk in terms physically to where people really truly think that I'm talking about that. I'm really talking about the spiritual destruction of a soul, the spiritual destruction of a mind, a spiritual destruction of someone who at one time was at a place that they believed to be at a place with the Most High. And now they're no longer at that place. They don't even care about that place. He's not even at all in their thoughts. They've done wiped their hands of it. They don't went on and done gone to do the things that they want to do in life. The way that the Hasatan destroys people is he first gets them through complacency, apathy, and passivity. And then they get to the place and the point where they have a form of godliness, but they deny the power. And then after so many years of stage playing, so many years of being a hypocrite, and so many years to where the soul that used to thirst now can't ever be satisfied for nothing, it ain't too long that destruction that took place from within, it shows out. And it destroys the very soul. So a nation that is destroyed by its enemies can always rise up. But when it's coming from the inside and the destructions from within, it's really total annihilation, because you don't even know what hit you. You had your voice, your mind, everything in the wrong place. Your thoughts in the wrong place. You was looking for the enemy in all the wrong places and not knowing that he's standing right next to you. Sometimes, not only right next to you, sometimes living in the same house. Sometimes the book that says that there's a friend, and they're only a friend when things are going well. But when things stop going well, the acid test is this: a true friend is only going to be known in adversity. And today, people's strength is so small because they're unconverted. The Most High Yah ain't never dealt with them. Their mind convicted them, but the Most High Yah ain't never dealt with them. And the hypocrisy is real. That's the reason why when people meet straightway, regardless of this wicked world court of opinion of these unregenerate mind people, regardless of that, you know what's amazing though? Is that when people travel from one end of this earth to the next to meet straightway without fail, you can tell the ones that are serious minded. You can tell the ones that are full of conviction, been filled with the Holy Spirit, the whole 9 yards. They are the ones that when they come, they don't ever want to leave. They don't ever want to leave. And I can't blame them, because for the first time in their life, they've met men and women of truth and integrity. They came, they saw, they experienced for themselves. They're not false witnesses. They have literally saw for themselves. And without fail, I always tell people, watch out for the enemy that spits in your mind, that's trying to destroy you from within, and then watch what you put before your eyes and your ears. Because everything in this world is doing whatever it can, and Satan is going to use all the people that he can, those who are submitted to him at his will, as much as he can, to try to do whatever he can to destroy you from the walk and from the way. You remember this feeling. You remember this conviction. You remember this experience, because this feeling, this conviction, and this experience is going to have to carry you for the rest of your days. And the hope is that you grow in favor and in knowledge, and you continue to keep growing, because once you get to the place where you think you've already arrived, that's when the enemy from within destroys. Remember, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We are wrestling against something greater. And anytime, if you're righteous, you're being attacked in any way, shape, fashion, or form, remember what PastorDowell said. You're watching those who are literally controlled by Satan at his will. They are the children of Leviathan. It is as backwards a backwards ass for someone who had no care for you to let you rip and run the streets, to let you do whatever you were big enough to do. But then when you start becoming serious minded, start keeping the commandments, and you start obeying this word, then all of a sudden they treat you as if you're a devil when they are the ones that's living in sin and the devil. Be careful. Just know what you're up against, because this thing carries eternal soul dividends.